A mother grows anxious as she finds out that her son has been absent from school for an entire week. Filled with worry, she resolves to delve into the reasons behind his absence. However, just before she can initiate her investigation, her son returns home pushing a stroller, and what he confesses next leaves her utterly stunned. Laura Martinez was a single mother who solely raised her son, Wayne, after her husband, Larry, died of pneumonia 2 years ago. Wayne was just 10 years old when it all happened, and Laura, who was a housewife back then, struggled for months to land a job in New York City where they lived. After a span of 2 years, when Wayne turned 12, he insisted on gaining the independence to commute to school on his own, just as his peers did. Laura wrestled with the decision, hesitant to let him venture alone as she believed he was still too young for such responsibility. However, since the school was close by, she eventually relented, equipping him with a phone and a notebook housing essential contacts for emergencies. Over the next few months, Laura's job consumed her attention, causing her to overlook checking in on Wayne's school experiences. Then, during a routine backpack packing session, she unexpectedly stumbled upon his report card, unveiling dishearteningly low grades. Laura found herself taken aback by this revelation. She addressed the matter with Wayne, prompting his defensive response. "Mom, quit treating me like a child. I'm not a kid anymore, and you can't invade my things without asking." His words carried a mix of frustration as he snatched up his bag and stormed off to school. Laura was shocked and couldn't believe her son was acting like that. At the same time, she was concerned that he was not paying attention to his studies and decided to discuss it over the weekend when they were both free. But before that, on Friday, she received a call from his school that shook her. "Hello, Mrs. Spencer. Is everything fine at home? It's been a week, and Wayne hasn't shown up at school. I was wondering if he was sick," his teacher, Mrs. Davidson, revealed over the phone. Laura was baffled and almost dropped the phone. "What? But he goes to school every day. I don't get it. That's odd, Mrs. Spencer. He hasn't shown up at all this week. It's probably time to pay attention to what he's up to. You know how easily kids can go astray these days." Mrs. Davidson warned her and hung up. Laura's heart was racing as she got off the phone. Wayne's grades were dropping, and he wasn't showing up at school. Where was he going all this time when he left for school? She immediately called him to find out where he was, but he didn't answer. However, she wouldn't give up. She kept calling him, and after several attempts, he finally answered. "Wayne, what the hell happened to you? And why are you not in school? Your teacher called me a few minutes ago to complain about you." She lashed out at him. "I am." Wayne was about to say something when Laura heard a baby crying in the background. "Wayne, where are you?" she asked desperately. "I hear a baby crying in the background and..." Laura was shocked and enraged when Wayne abruptly ended the call before she could finish. On her way home that evening, Laura's only thoughts were of the baby's cries and Wayne's absence from school. She had made up her mind to sit him down as soon as he got home. To her surprise, as she was nearing their home, she noticed Wayne with a stroller near their house. She slammed on the brakes in shock and ran over to him, unable to believe her eyes. Inside the stroller was a baby girl wrapped in a towel. "Where did you get the stroller, Wayne? And whose baby is this?" she inquired firmly. Wayne didn't even look Laura in her eyes. He stood speechless, his head down and his hold on the stroller's handle firm. Laura figured that being stiff with Wayne might not be the best method to extract an answer from him. So she calmed herself down and repeated herself, "Where did you get the baby, honey? And why have you not gone to school for a whole week?" After a brief silence, Wayne spoke up. "I'm sorry, Mom. I couldn't leave Danielle alone. We must keep her safe." "Keep her safe? Where did you even find her, and why is she here?" Laura asked, confused. Wayne knew he had no way out, so he ultimately divulged the entire story, which horrified Laura. As Wayne headed to school one day, he came across baby Danielle sleeping in a stroller near a group of beggars by a shop. The same sight greeted him the following days as well. Eventually, while crossing the street, he eavesdropped on the beggars and learned that they had abducted Danielle. Fearing for her safety, Wayne decided to take action and snatch the stroller away from the beggars. He sought refuge in an abandoned nearby garage, where he cared for Danielle. He used the money Laura had given him for lunch to buy her necessities like diapers and milk. During the night, he would sneak out to be with Danielle, returning before dawn when his mother was still asleep. When Laura called to inquire about his absence from school, he realized he couldn't hide the truth and brought the stroller home. "I'm sorry, Mom. I was scared you would scold me, so I didn't tell you the truth," he confessed. "I couldn't leave her. I had no idea what her name was, so I gave her the name Danielle. Can we please keep her?" Laura shook her head in disbelief. She was shocked Wayne had been up to so much behind her back, and she had no clue. However, deep down, she was proud of him for saving a baby's life. "Wayne," she said gently, "I'm glad you saved Danielle, but I'm furious that you lied to me. Lying is not a good thing, honey." "I'm sorry, Mom," he replied, dropping his head. "I didn't want to lie, but I couldn't leave Danielle in danger. Can she stay with us?" "No, Wayne. We can't keep someone else's child like that. But if I call the cops and tell them the truth, we can help Danielle find her parents." "But what if the officers don't find them?" Wayne asked sadly. "Then maybe we can keep her after the cops agree." "Really?" His eyes lit up. "Yes, honey. You see, honesty is always the best policy. Do you promise to always be truthful with me from now on?" "Yes, Mommy, I promise. Now let's call the cops and tell them about Danielle," he said joyfully. "All right then." Laura phoned the officers and told them about the situation. She also asked the cops if she could keep Danielle with them until her parents were found, and luckily, they agreed to it after document verification. During Danielle's stay with Laura and Wayne, the detectives successfully located and apprehended the beggars who had taken her from a neighboring town. They also managed to find her biological mother, Cynthia. Being a single mother similar to Laura, Cynthia disclosed that her baby's actual name was Nicole. Upon reuniting with Nicole, Cynthia was overwhelmed with emotion, expressing her heartfelt gratitude to Laura for safeguarding and caring for Nicole. Following that pivotal moment, Laura and Cynthia formed a strong bond of friendship. They frequently meet on weekends to allow Nicole and Wayne to spend quality time together.